So the week of March 15th through 21st was an interesting one. If I were to sum it up in a few phrases, I would say slow sales, the bins were definitely giving, and eBay, girl, are you okay? Because you just have like gone completely silent. I don't know what's going on there. So hi everybody, welcome to my weekly Source and Sold video. My name is Malika, and if you are new here, I am a part-time reseller. I sell on Poshmark, usually eBay, Mercari, and Depop, and this is my weekly Source and Sold video where I share with you some of the things that I sourced during the week. I usually try and pick out things that were really good finds in terms of things that I think would be brands for other people to want to know about, or maybe some cool style, or for some other reason that I just think that they were a great pickup. So I do that, and then in the other part of the video, I share with you everything that I sold during that week. Typically I do this what I sourced first, but there was so much sourcing last week, and I really want to give my sourcing the time it deserves in this video. So I'm gonna actually start with what I sold this week. And my sales were slow, but there were some interesting sales, and all I can say is thank goodness for Poshmark. I have done a couple of videos about how I was really starting to fall in love with eBay, but eBay was not it this last week. And I've heard other resellers talk about it too. So I don't know what's going on over there, but just not getting the hits. And it's Tuesday of this week today as I'm filming on, I don't even know what day, I think maybe it's March 24th. And still, it's just like crickets over there. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into what did sell last week. Again, they were slow. I attribute that to coming off of what was actually my best sales week the week before. And if you saw my video last week, you saw that I was actually on vacation when I had my best sales week. And so while I still kept doing things and doing like listings and other sales generating activities while I was gone, I still wasn't as active as I would have been if I were at home. So I think that that slowed me down, but it was still, for me as a newer reseller, I think a solid sales week and still had some cool things about it. So let's go ahead and get into it. We'll start with the 15th, which was Sunday. I actually had 0 sales that day, so I'm gonna move on from that real fast. And then we'll get into Monday, where I had 1 sale, and it was this Generation Love black sequins sleeveless bodysuit. This came out of a box that I got from New Source. It was a designer box that I picked up that I, did not love. I did a video about that. So if you have any interest in New Source designer box, check that out and you can see about my experience. I am slowly starting to sell the pieces out of that. It's been 2 months. This is the 3rd piece I sold. This was a solid sale. It took 44 days for this to sell. I do think Generation Love is a brand to look out for. I'm definitely keeping an eye out for it because it got a lot of attention before it actually sold. It sold for $36. My earnings on this, after Poshmark took their fees, which is always a flat 20%, my earnings were $28.80. Cost of goods, and the average cost of goods of this box was really high, so $18.80. I certainly would never pay that if I found Generation Love somewhere else, but the box, that's what it was. And so my profit was only $10 on this, but that's okay. I'm just happy to see things moving from that box. Okay, so moving on to the 17th, Tuesday the 17th, I had 4 sales that day. So that was my best day in sales of the week. The first was this Athleta linen joggers, and I got these at the bins a while back. They were new with tags, which was great. They took 109 days to sell. I like selling Athleta, but some things just will take a little bit longer to sell. I found it doesn't move really fast, but for me, at least, Athleta does move. I sold these for $25 on Poshmark. After Poshmark took their fees, my earnings were $20. And my cost of goods, because this was from a bins haul, was $2.16, which was my average cost of goods during that bins haul. And that made my profit $17.84 on these joggers. And my next sell on the 17th was, this is exciting, this Helly Hansen waterproof belted hooded jacket. I talked about this in a source and sold video a couple of weeks ago, I believe. I picked this up during a bins haul that was just so tight and small. I spent like $6, but man, did I have some amazing finds, one of which was an MZ Wallace bag and this Helly Hansen hooded jacket. So this took 7 days to sell. It was listed for 7 days. Helly Hansen, absolutely a brand to be on the lookout for. They're known for their outdoor wear, really high quality outdoor wear. So if you find Helly Hansen pieces, I would recommend picking them up. This sold for $85 and it sold on Poshmark. My earnings after their fees, $68. And my average cost of goods for the clothes in that bins haul was $1.13. So my profit on that was $66.87. That was such a score. That was amazing. Okay, next two sales on the 17th were bundle sales, which are so fantastic. It's so nice to be able to move multiple pieces in one sale. And so I was really excited I don't have bundle sales very often. I'm hoping that as I build up my customer base that I'll have more of those with people maybe will come back and shop with me. But right now I don't have them very often. So super exciting to have two in one day. The first was these two pieces. The first being this loft knit halter top. And the second was this jelly tomato skirt. What was also interesting about these pieces being bundled together is that they actually came out of the same box. This came out of a Goodwill blue box that I picked up a couple of months ago. And I did do a video about this box because it was pretty good. And these are the first things to actually sell out of that box. I had these listed for 46 days before they sold. I sold them for $28. I really could have, I was expecting actually for these pieces to go for a little bit more, but in a bundle, happy to discount them. I think before the discount, they would have been a total of $42. I always offer a 20% discount on bundles, but I tend to offer even deeper discounts. And this was from a box that had not moved any of the pieces out of yet. So I was certainly motivated to give a greater discount. So sales price, $28 on Poshmark. My earnings, $22.40. My total cost of goods for these two pieces, $6.18, because average cost of goods for everything in that box, $3.09. So $6.18 for both pieces. And that made my profit $16.22. The next bundle was also interesting because these were all pieces that were like from the beginning of me reselling. The first piece, this Banana Republic short sleeve sweater. And the next piece, this Tahari cardigan sweater was new with tags, and the Banana Republic piece also new with tags. And then the third piece, this Inc. International Concepts cardigan, brown and black cardigan. So again, on Poshmark, these were listed for 154 days. They were all listed like at the very beginning of me becoming a reseller. When I first did like my first big haul and put pieces out, these were all part of that. And I sold this bundle for $45. My earnings after Poshmark's fees for this bundle, $29.51. My cost of goods on all this was kind of high. This is again early in my reselling, so I'm still learning. So my total cost of goods for all three of these pieces was $23.45. So my profit was only $6.06. I got two of these pieces at Savers, and I actually got the Tahari cardigan at Marshall. So it's a combination of places. So yeah, I just happy to see those old things moving out. Okay, that was it for the 17th. Moving on to the 18th, also a really solid sales day. I had 3 sales that day. The first being these REI brown corduroy cargo pants. These also sold on Poshmark. It took a little bit to sell too. It's 117 days these were listed. And I honestly, this were a learning thing for me. At the beginning, I was picking up a lot of REI because I'm from the Pacific Northwest. REI is headquartered there and definitely a very big outdoor brand. And I made some assumptions. I thought that REI would probably be something that sold. REI does not sell well. I have now sold everything that I had that is REI, but it takes a while and it doesn't sell for very much. A case in point with these, they sold for $16. My earnings after Poshmark's fees, $12.80. I got these at the bins, so my average cost of goods on the bins haul, I got these was only $2.16. So my profit on these, $10.64. Another piece, happy to see, move out of my inventory. The next item that sold that day were these Gap baby boot mid-rise jeans, bootcut jeans. If you've been here before, you know I really like selling Gap, total bread and butter for me. I don't make a lot on Gap, but it is very consistent for me. So these took 33 days to sell. They sold for $20 on Poshmark. My earnings, $16. And I got these during a bins haul. I called this my mid bins haul. I had an average cost of goods of $2.90. So my profit on these, $13.10. And the next and last sale on the 18th was this pink, Victoria's Secret pink, white Sherpa pullover. And this sold on Mercari. Yay, I'm so happy to continue to build my sales on Mercari. It's been slow going for me. So just being able to have 1 or 2 sales a week there makes me happy. But this was listed for 108 days, quite some time, and I sold it for 17. I was definitely trying to sell this for more, but I've had it for so long, so I wanted it to move, so I went ahead and accepted. And I accepted that 17 on Mercari, which has lower fees than a Poshmark or an eBay, so I was more comfortable taking less. My earnings after Mercari fees were $14.81. My cost of goods, this is also something I bought early on. So my cost of goods, $8.47. I would not pay that now that I have a little bit more knowledge under my belt, but that is fine because I still profit. I profited $6.34. I bought this at my neighborhood savers. So that was great. Moving out old inventory feels nice. It really, really does. Okay, next sale is on the 19th and I only had one sale that day, and it was the Sack crochet knit bucket bag crossbody. I picked this up during the same haul as that Helly Hansen piece. Also listed for 7 days, and it sold on Poshmark as well. Sold for $24, and my earnings, $19.20. Also had a little correction from my average cost of goods for those purses that I picked up. I had also gotten that MZ Wallace. Turns out it was actually only 72 cents. So I paid 72 cents for this bag, sold it for 24. My profit after the fees from that Poshmark took out ended up being $18.48. Not bad at all. Okay, next sale happened on the 20th. Another fantastic bag. It was this Dagny Dover black structured work tote. Keep an eye out for this brand. Dagny Dover is like one of those sort of low-key, high-end brands for bags. It's a premium brand. These totes retail for in the like 300s somewhere. So this one I had listed for 19 days. It sold on Poshmark. I originally had it listed for 85, but I did end up taking 50 for it. I went back and forth and re-looked at comps, and I probably could have squeezed out more, but it's like weighing the option of, do I wait and see if I can get another $10 out of this, or do I just go ahead and keep things moving? Because there's something to be said for accepting offers when you get them, not just constantly declining. You need to like keep it, making sure that you're keeping things moving and accepting offers, because I feel like the platforms don't look favorably on you declining too many things. So I try to be judicious about what I decline. So sold this for 50. Poshmark took their 20%. That left me with $40. My cost of goods on this bag, $8.57, which I would pay again happily. And so that left my profit at $31.43, and I got this bag at my neighborhood savers. Okay, moving on to Saturday, the last day of the week. I had 2 sales that day. The first were these Polo Ralph Lauren Preston Chino pants, and these sold on Mercari. I've had these pants for a long time. They were listed for 109 days. They were in good shape, not great shape, so I was okay with selling them for $11. I think the resale market is so flooded with these types of pants, they weren't going to necessarily get me a lot more, so went ahead and took the $11 offer. Mercari does not take much in fees, so my earnings on this, $9.41. My cost of goods on these pants, $3.25. And so that left my profit at $6.16. And I got this at one of my area thrift stores that I like to frequent. And so my last sale finally on eBay, because I'm going to tell you what, I was like, all week, I was like, eBay? Hello, where are you? Like just dead. Like I wasn't getting really many watchers. I was just not getting much. And I watch other resellers on YouTube and they are saying something similar. So I don't know what's going on there, but I did finally have a sale. Came in Saturday afternoon and it was this torrid nude lace up, push up bra and plunge bra. And I was thrilled to make this sale because I've been testing out intimates. I don't really have many intimate pieces listed. I did get these during a bins haul. My sales price for this, $20, which I was more than pleased with. And after eBay fees, I did do some promotion on this. So my fees were a little on the higher side, but my earnings after the fees, $15.57. My average cost of goods during the bins haul where I picked this up was $1.52. And so that made my profit $14.05. So that was it for the week. And so I'd like to share with y'all all of my totals. So everything in terms of total sales, my total earnings, cost of goods, and then ultimately what my profit was. And then the other numbers that I'm really focused on and really trying to just dial in as a reseller are my average cost of goods, which I want to keep below $5. And my average sale price, which right now I'm trying to target between $25 and $30. So here are the numbers. Total of 12 sales. My total sales revenue, or all the sales, was $377 even. My total earnings after all of the platforms took out their fees, $296.50. My total cost of goods for everything that sold, $79.31. And that left my profit at $217.19, which absolutely come down from the week before. And I don't know if I have like a clear goal around this right now. I need to probably set one. If I did have one, this probably didn't meet it, but there were some other things that were good goals that were met in terms of moving old inventory, getting those bundles sold, getting Mercari sales. Those were all positive. So, net win ultimately for the week. And then my average cost of goods, and I did have to separate looking at every piece that sold because I did have some things that sold in bundle, but my average cost of goods for this sales week, $5.29. So I missed it by a hair, but given the designer box piece that sold and average cost of goods at $18.80, I feel really good about that. So it was really helpfully balanced by having a lot of things sell that I picked up at the bins. So $5.29, pretty dang close. And then the amazing news, my average sales price was $31.42. So that is outstanding. That's like where I want to be, like once I feel like I'm a experienced reseller. So that is like super, super good news. So that was the week in sales. And now we are going to move over into what I sourced this week. It was a doozy. So let's go ahead and move over to what I picked up. Okay, let's get into what I sourced. So truth be told, I got a lot of stuff last week, and I have to break it up a little bit. Because part of what I sourced was, I did some online sourcing. I am going to do a video about some of the stuff I got, which was I got another box from News Source, or 2 boxes from News Source. I also did a video about some sourcing that I did in my own closet last week, because as we're moving into the warmer weather, I switch out the clothes in my closet, and I'm really excited that this is the first time I get to do that as a reseller, and found some things that I can sell. So I'm gonna actually have a series about that. If you have any interest in that, I'm gonna be doing that every weekend for the next 30 days, just to see how much I can sell out of my own closet. So if you're interested in that, check that out too. That video should drop on Sundays, or those videos. But my big own haul that I did, or major haul that I did, was I went to the bins, and it was like just embarrassment of riches. I've gone to the bins now enough to know that some weeks are really, really good, where you find a ton of stuff like I did last week, and then some things and I'm not afraid to do this, walk out with 5 or 6 things, particularly if they're high end, like the MZ Wallace bag and the Helly Hansen jacket. So that was like a $6 trip. This was an $87 trip, which is by far the most that I've ever spent, but I got so many good things, and I was trying to figure out, because normally in this part of the video, I'm like, okay, what are my top 10 favorites? And I just could not figure that out with this. So if you are still here with me and you want to hang out and watch me, I'm so happy to have you here. If you have some chores to do, or you have other things to keep you occupied, this is going to be great to have in the background. So so let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to start. I kind of had 3 categories of stuff I got. Like, just if you looked at the thumbnail, it was just like so many shoes, like a crazy amount of shoes, so many good shoes. I found some interesting bags, which we'll do at the end. And I got some good clothing pieces that I want to share with y'all too. So let's get started. I'm gonna start with some kid stuff that I got. I've shared this before, but I like to pick up nice kids brands if I can find them, to just have all together to take to Once Upon a Child. Some things I do try and list first, but for the most part, I'm just creating this bag of stuff to take there, because kids stuff at the bin, super lightweight, and it's just like negligible in my haul. So I like to try and pick those up. And so this one I wanted to share here. This is Jamie K. This is a sustainable child brand. So that does like a lot of like really organic type materials. This is just a cute little infant sweater, adorable. It's like organic cotton. But yeah, Jamie K. Looks like that this is something that a lot of parents look out for, so keep an eye out for that if you see it. I also got this Coolie Bar swim shirt, and this isn't just kids brand, this is like kids and adults, but it's a cute little one for kids. The cool thing about this, and this is something people look out for, is it has the SPF, so the sun protection, which is mentioned in here. And as we're going into warmer weather season, this I'm hoping will be something that people are going to be interested in. I'll probably actually try and list this myself first to see if I can sell that. The next 2 pieces I also got for this sort of warm weather swim time, which is another swim top, but this one is Hannah Anderson, and this is absolutely a kid's brand. If you're not familiar with it, be on the lookout for. This is a swim shirt, and I got also these adorable little boy swim trunks. And Hannah Anderson is a premium kids brand. Their clothes are just so great. European brand, all of their sizes you can see are in centimeters. And so you have to do the conversion there if you find them. But oh man, love Hannah Anderson. When my kids were little, I used to love to try and find Hannah Anderson stuff for them at a reasonable price, because it retails like really high. But if you can get it at a good price, and finding them in the bins, such a great thing. So really happy with those kids pieces. Moving on to the next share. I found, this is another thing I like to pick up, and even if I don't resell it, it can go. This is a North Face jacket, black jacket, fleece lined, super nice. This was in excellent condition, not a flaw to be found. Hopefully it stays that way. But I really like picking up North Face. This is a small. I like picking it up because even if I don't sell it myself, which I feel pretty confident this one will sell myself, but even if it doesn't, North Face does have their program that you can take in North Face pieces and they will actually give you credit for them. So you can just add that up and use it for yourself. So I like doing that because I like North Face for myself. So I have a pile of things that I keep, but most things I do try and sell my own, and that one I will. Okay, I also picked up a couple of Carhartt things. This is a little Carhartt beanie. Everybody was wearing these winter. I think there's still probably a chance to get that one sold. And then this Carhartt hoodie also. That was pretty happy about that. Got these little Nike women's running shorts. I like to sell Nike. These are reliable. They don't really necessarily go for a lot, but when I find like Nike or Lululemon, certainly if I find like an Aloe or a Viore, but you know, Nike for sure, I'll just go ahead and pick those up because they will move, they will sell. This is a style-based pickup. I don't know really anything about this brand, but it's Lonnie the label. But this style with the little crop smocked top with the sheer and the little dotted pattern top, this one, as I'm trying to increase my Depop sales, I'm hoping this will be a good one there. It's got that whimsy goth vibe to it, so try and get the right keywords, but that one is going to be a definite Depop focus sale. Another one for Depop is this Hot Topic dress. I have no idea how Hot Topic performs, but this is definitely Hot Topic is a brand big with a lot of Gen Zers. I have a daughter who, this is pretty much the only place she gets her clothes. This is a velvet, giving very much a Y2K kind of vibe, and I was informed by my youngest daughter. I said, hey, we're still focused on the Y2K thing, and she's like, oh, it's just even getting deeper. So I guess we all should still be, if you're out there watching me and you're a reseller, according to my Gen Zer who likes to make sure that she stays on top of things, we are still going to be following all the Y2K trends. So there you have it. So that dress I'm hoping will do well on Depop. This next I picked up is a linen shirt dress. Shirt dresses are also good for the season, and I like picking up linen things. This is Tahari, which Tahari is a so-so one for me. I do pick it up, like I sold a Tahari last week, but I don't pick up everything Tahari, but this is 100% linen. Once I get this steamed, this will look great and will be hopefully something that will move relatively fast for me. This dress, oh my gosh, so excited about it. One, it is adorable and it's taking me everything in me to not keep it, but it's got these little straps, the small top, polka dot. It's like a midi length tiered polka dot cotton dress, and it is from Anthropologie en Saison. So here is the tag. En Saison. I could not find a tag anywhere else. I actually don't have the size on this. I don't know if they cut it out, or can't even find where it was, but this dress is so cute. I looked at comps. The comps were really solid. They were really strong. So this dress looks like it could probably get over 50, but yeah, look at that. It's so cute for the season. Super happy about that one. Okay, another one, and this was a new brand to me. When I looked it up, comps were really good, and I think also this has a pretty solid sell-through rate, and this is Tadashi Shoji. This says Tadashi Collection, but the whole full name is Tadashi Shoji. This is a ruched black special occasion dress, and it looks like they do like the special occasion type clothing, but just a really cool, pretty dress. that when I looked at comps, they were like $70, $80, $90 for these special occasion dresses from Tadashi. So I would say be on the lookout for this brand if you find it. But when I found it in the bins, I just was like, oh, this looks really pretty. Trying to look for formal wear as we're going into that season, like a lot of schools having their different dances and all of that, prom and tolos and all that kind of stuff. And lo and behold, that just is a really good formal wear or special occasion wear brand. And then the last, two more things that I want to share. One, being the Prince fan that I am, loved finding this, the Purple Rain. There's absolutely an audience for these graphic tees of like different musicians or singers that are the old school. So this absolutely is Purple Rain from the 80s. But what was cool is this is not just any Purple Rain shirt. This is, and I hope it comes up, try to do this here. This is actually from the estate, Prince's estate. This is official apparel from his estate. So this is great because it's not just some rando Purple Rain shirt. It's actually from the estate. So I'm hoping that will not only sell fast, but also sell for a decent amount. Okay, the last piece of clothes that I want to share is from a brand to also be on the lookout for. It is called Sandro. This is a brand from Paris, and their pieces fetch a lot. The sell-through rate did not look great, so these are things that may sit for a while, but people do sell them for a lot. This is just a black jacket. I still have some work to do. This had like the most amount of lint I've ever come across on something, but I started to clean it off, but I just need to steam it too. So it's a cotton jacket. It's Sandro sportswear, but this is also another 50 plus piece that should sell really well. So Sandro, another one to be on the lookout for. So those are all the clothes that I got. I got, like I said, just an abundance of shoes. I think I got like 12 pair. I'm gonna walk through them mostly pretty fast, but I got these men's dress shoes. These are Cole Haan, and Cole Haan is a strong brand, very recognizable, and there are, I think, particularly for men's Cole Haan shoes, a good market on the resale, or a good audience on the resale market. So I picked those up. I also picked up these Cole Haan slip-ons, and these feel like these probably I won't get a ton for, but again, just a solid brand, good brand recognition, so got those. I also found a couple pair of Uggs. So these are just your regular standard Uggs, boots. These are in good shape, very good shape. I'm really happy about those. And then I also found, this was exciting, these Ugg brown slippers, and these also like hardly anywhere on those. That should be a pretty good sell. I do good selling Uggs. They do definitely do well for me. Next thing is a category, got couple of pairs of Merrell. So these are like hiking shoes of Merrell, and I've had good luck with these too. I think we're also very much in the season for hiking boots. These are in fantastic shape. I'm thrilled to find those. And then another pair of Merrells. These are like more of these can also like kind of transition into going into the water. I've not sold this style of Merrell, so I'm interested to see. These feel like, these kind of remind me of Keens, but they are Merrell, so we'll see how those do. And then I found a couple of pair of Tevas, which some people think it's Teva, which I used to think it's Teva, but it's Teva. This brand, these are just some men flip-flop Tevas. And then I also found this pair of women's Teva sandals. So also in really great shape. These were just like so many great shoes for the time frame that we're going in, just going into springtime. So excited about these. Okay, so the next category or group of shoes or brand of shoes I got were Vionic, which is another one to look out for. I have been looking for the right Vionics to buy, and I finally found them. These are the Vionic Kira with the back strap, and Vionics do really well. These are in great shape, nice tread still. But yeah, these are a brand that I've heard lots of people say be on the look for. And when I look them up, for sure, they look like the sell-through rate on Vionics is pretty solid. So we'll see how those do. I also found another pair of Vionics, a different style. So these are Vionics as well. They've got like the croc embossed look. These are their leather. They've got some wear here, so I'm gonna have to try and condition that up and see how it goes. But this is potentially a nice workwear shoe. The bottom's in really great condition. So if I can get the toe cleaned up, hopefully I can sell these. I will probably be willing to not sell these for the highest of prices, but we will see. There's a little bit of an experimentation happening with me on that, because that's one of those brands that I've heard of. Oh yeah, you want to get Vionic. So we'll see how it does. And so I'm glad that I have two pairs to compare. The next one, also something to be on the lookout for, Taos women's sandals. I looked these up and they resell this particular pair of shoes, which I think is the Guru women's sandal, retails for $150, and they hold their resale value pretty dang well. So I am excited to get these listed and see how they do. The bottoms are in fantastic shape, but Taos, another one, I think they're in a similar category as the Vionics. And, but yeah, we'll see how they do. Hopefully we'll see those coming up on the sold end of things in a week or two. Okay, the next thing I found were these low profile J. Crew sneakers. These I don't even think have ever been worn. If you look at the bottom, like, does not have any wear. But the downside is this one has like a little stain on it, so I'm gonna have to stain treat that. But other than that, these are in fantastic condition. The low profile sneaker is on trend for 2026. This is what people are wearing, so I'm excited to get these listed and hopefully sold quickly, and fingers crossed getting that stain out of them. The last thing, first time I have found these to actually get, but these Birkenstocks, you know, people love them some Birkenstocks, and these need a little bit of cleaning. They're not in the best of condition. You can see there's some good wear on the bottom, but I just have heard if you see Birkenstocks, pick them up because people are gonna want them. So we'll see how these do, because these have been well worn. They do still have some life in them. So I think it's gonna be a matter of me pricing them right to see how they do. But these are the Birkenstock Arizona suede in dark blue. So that was it for my shoes. Okay, last group of things I wanna share are some bags that I got, including the big moneymaker of the haul. But we'll start with, this is really interesting. This is a utility pouch. And if you look on the inside, it's got all these fantastic little spots to hold things. And the brand is Spec Ops. Now, it turns out Spec Ops sells like military grade, like different types of bags, packs, and that sort of thing. And a lot of that gets like a lot of money. But even this, when I looked it up, this sells for a decent amount and has a good sell-through rate. There is a market for these. So I think this is, I don't know yet how much I'm gonna list this for, but the comps I was seeing was around $25-ish for this, and this did not weigh much, so it did not cost me too much. So I'm excited to see what that'll do. But Spec Ops, I'm gonna be looking out for that again, particularly if I find the bigger bags of it. And moving on to bigger bags, I got this, and this is Lole is the brand, and this is a 3-1 tote. It's got like It's versatile, like you can carry it as a tote. It also is a backpack, so good for travel. This is a Canadian brand, like from Montreal. And from what I read, this is like similar to Lululemon, but Canadian. But these bags, I saw this exact bag sold on eBay recently for, I think it was $75. So this is another one to be on the lookout for. This one was in fantastic shape. It's got like this opening in it, and it's got a spot where you can put your laptop, which is always something that, you know, is an advantage. But really, this is a really nice bag. If I had a reason for it, I would want to keep this because this is nice. So low lay, and it's got low lay with the two little dots over the E. But yeah, keep an eye out for low lay. All right. The last piece, the biggest exciting thing of the season, or of the haul, I saw this and I thought, is this real? I have to know, because is this really real? Would they have this at the bins here? And it is. I've done many things online to authenticate it, but I will show you what this is first. This is like a leather duffel purse. It's got these studs on the bottom. Specifically, this is the Alexander Wang, and let me find the label. Hopefully this shows up here, but Alexander Wang Rocco studded duffel bag. This is true designer, everybody. This bag right now resells on eBay for about $250. I think when it's in like excellent condition. This one has some wear, or has had some wear. You can see, I'll show you. There's some spots right there where that's coming apart. Whoever had this got their use out of it for sure. But even with some wear, this is probably a $150 pickup. These are high-end, premium, designer, luxury brand bags. Pretty heavy because of these, like this, I think this right here is really what makes it, this studded bottom of this Rocco duffel. But this is a known style for Alexander Wang. I didn't know it before I found it, but once I started doing my research, oh my gosh, it was there. So yeah, exciting. This is one of those brands, you know, if you find it, it's a pretty exciting thing to find. And the way to know that it is an authentic one is certainly a lot of this embossing. If you just found it saying Alexander Wang and it wasn't like on something like this embossed leather, the way that the studding is, and I can tell you that this is not only really detailed, but heavy, but the way that that's done is another indicator. There are a couple of other things. Let me see if I can see in the bag to look out for on the inside, but just the detailing that is on the inside here, the zipper, those are the things that you want to look out for. But yeah, super excited to find that. This is something that might just need the right buyer. I don't know, because again, this one is pretty warm, but this one will move, and I feel pretty confident. This was my piece that pays for the whole haul just on its own. So that was it. So great. Thank you for hanging with me if you are still here. The last thing I want to say is, if you are still here with me and you are a subscriber, I want to say a huge, huge thank you, because the other exciting thing that happened for me this week is that I crossed over into over 100 subscribers. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for subscribing, for watching. Those of you who comment and give me feedback, I truly appreciate you. I am doing these videos, one, because I'm now finding that they're really fun, but also because I had so many people that helped me just by doing these types of videos as a reseller, that I wanted to do this for other people. So if you are out there and you're watching and you find this helpful or you find it entertaining, I'm so glad, and just thank you for the support. It means a lot, and I just appreciate you hanging in there. And so huge thanks if you made it this far in this video. If you are somebody who hasn't subscribed, but you're just finding me and you like what you saw, I would love it if you'd come back. If you like the content, please give me a like and a thumbs up. And if you are interested in seeing more of these, I do them every week. Please subscribe and mark the little bell so you don't miss out. In addition to these weekly source and solds, I also do 1 or 2 other videos a week. Sometimes they're about opening a box that I have picked up online, or just sharing some information about what I'm learning in this interesting journey of being a reseller. So until the next time we are together, I hope you all take care. Thanks.